Hey everybody, how's it going? It's another Wednesday evening. It's time to hang out with Zach and Russ. We are here to talk about all kinds of stuff.
And then it speeds up because we get to the next level and the time is running out. No, maybe not.
Do 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 do. It's time to talk about do 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 fantasy football. Do 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 do. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Wednesday Hangouts with Zach and Russ, or whatever it is. Oh wait, hold on. I have to. I'm wearing my SFB shirt. I'm on a streak. Every Wednesday I have worn an SFB shirt, even though this is an SFB 13 hoodie that I made myself. But I just
that's
still rep
a nice hoodie. But I love the tattooing. That's the shirt that I was wearing. They got recognized. I've been recognized for Scott Fishbowl in the wild exactly one time.
Yes,
but it was at Disney, and I was wearing the drafting SFB from Tatooine,
yes.
and we were in the switchbacks, and it was Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway in Hollywood Studios, and we went by each other, and the guy's like hard eyeballing me, and I'm like, I don't know whether I'm getting in a fight or if we're gonna bond over something, and then we go through the switchback again. He's like, Scott Fishbowl, and I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah. I was like, yeah. So it was much better. I didn't have to throw hands. I'm really a pacifist. I don't want to do that sort of thing, but like, it was good.
I would be terrified of you in a fight because of how not fighty you are.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like I don't yell. I never yell. When I yell, people take it seriously.
Yeah. That's the tacit part, the silent assassin. That's, I don't say much, but when I do, I do.
Yes. Oh, wait, hold on. Someone needs help. We're here to help. Wilson, I need
We're here.
SFB 14 roster. Start one. Deontay Johnson, Jalen Tolbert, Mike Gesicki, Ray McLeod, Westbrook Akine. Man,
McLeod is a good start too.
I think McLeod is safer, but man, I think we've seen what, especially if Higgins still just doesn't feel like playing. I'm crossing my fingers this is a tag thing. Like, he's just taking the season easy because he's on the tag.
Yeah.
Because I really don't want him to keep getting hurt with these, soft tissue and muscle things. Like,
well, and that's the thing too with that type of injury, is it lingers, like soft tissue, and it's not just one thing, because you can end up like you hurt one thing and then you compensate and then you get something else, and then you know, so yeah.
Because this is different. Like, it was one hamstring, and I think this is the other quad. Now, don't get me wrong. I have no idea where a quad is or where a hamstring really is.
Quad, front thigh, hamstring, back thigh. There are actually three muscles that make up hamstring, which is weird, but it is.
I'm not going to pretend to.
Or three tendons. Maybe it's tendons, but I think it's muscles. But yeah, in the back of your leg.
Sure. No matter what you say, I will believe you, because you're a very believable guy, and I don't know the answer.
No, I've done stupid things to quads and hamstrings. Started with a hamstring, became a quad, became both quads because compensating for one. So like that happens sometimes. I didn't like playing on turf, but that's my own kind of personal hang up there. Turf hurt me just standing on it.
Looking at turf kind of hurts my knees a little bit.
That's fair. But I'm currently looking up Ray McLeod because I want to see what he's been doing.
I mean,
yeah. So, I'm not sure that I wouldn't play McLeod. Like, he's been, a floor of like 10 and a ceiling of like 22. Not that Gesicki is, I think Gesicki's ceiling is probably higher. And if Higgins is out, yeah, run with Gesicki because his ceiling is in the 30s. But man, that's a really nice problem to have, Wilson. Like the fact that you've got the option between Gesicki and McLeod, I think that's a really nice.
The Falcons are playing the Saints, and it's not like he would be having Lattimore on him anyway, but Lattimore's gone, so it's an even worse defense now. Gesicki is playing the Ravens, who are also both teams with good matchups. Okay, my final answer is Gesicki, especially if T. Higgins doesn't play. If T. Higgins does play, why don't you give him the gelato answer?
This is my favorite. This is how I make all of my important decisions. I go to the local gelateria. In this case, Gelato Fiasco. I go pay with cash. When I get the quarterback, you flip the quarter, you do whatever the quarter says, plus you have gelato. That's a win.
There you go. Oh, and Wilson bringing up the point that London might not be playing. Okay. Why are you starting out the show with such a complicated question? We're supposed to build toward these kind of like.
Do you have somebody else that you could potentially like? These are the things where like this is a great problem to have because you've got two players who should score 18, 20 plus points. That's a nice problem to have. There are a lot of teams in Scott Fishbowl that don't have that problem. I won't bring up Bob Gilchrist's team.
Who's that?
I won't. Yeah.
Just curious if you guys have looked into 2025 rookies and how you are valuing early, mid, and late 25 firsts in Dynasty.
I started this week. I have watched one player so far. I've watched Ashton Genty.
The 101.
He's very good. I think it's interesting to watch him in pass protection and as a receiver, especially since he had that sophomore year where he had, it was 40 plus receptions, but he does not look really comfortable as a blocker receiver. Like, I think he's adequate. Like, he'll be fine. He's good. Holy cow. Is he quick to the line? Is he shifty? And like you watch him run and he looks like he is a smaller guy. He's 5'9", 215. So he's not a smaller guy. Like he's a
bulky man.
He's a solid guy. And he will deliver hits at the end of runs. And you're like, oh, like he just ended a linebacker. And so it's fun to watch him. And he's also got the long speed. Like he's a home run hitter. Yeah. So interesting. It'll be fun for me to dig into this class. So, but Brainburst, what I tend to do is not consume content, not watch college football. My information that I get about classes, I have like 3 or 4 people who are really plugged into college football in Devi. Travis May being one of the, like, if I was going to be able to phone a friend and say, hey, what does 25 or 26 look like as a class, my one phone call would be to Travis May. But there are probably 3 or 4 really plugged in Devi guys that I listen to. It sounds like really good running backs, a few wide receivers up at the top, a good tight end class, but the quarterback class is a little bit lacking compared to what we're looking for in a really solid dynasty class. So good class, not great class, good running back class. So we're back to like it's like coming home and
2017, 2018.
Yeah, it's like coming home and putting on this, the sweater and this, the nice comfy pants.
Neighborhood.
Yeah, put your feet up and like it feels like home. Back to rookie classes where you want to draft running backs and you want to draft them early, and it's to me, that's my comfort zone, because when I build, I want to draft running backs to play them for a year or two and then trade running backs to get the young proven wide receivers and then draft running backs again. So like that's my cycle. I think we're back in that groove, and Russ, you and I have been talking about this for a few years now. I talked with Peter Howard and Jacob Rickroyd about this, but there's such a ebb and flow, and
Yeah.
about every 8 years for running backs. Well, here we are. The 2017 class hit. Here we are coming up to 2025. It's wild how that cycle, that pendulum moves.
I'm wondering if early firsts are going to grow in value because of the risk of players staying in college on NIL deals makes the back of the end first. I think we've seen the NIL stuff happen already. We've had a couple of players stay in. Like, I don't think that's the thing is, I don't think that's news. Early firsts are always going to be valuable. Like, there's always going to be players, even if in a weak quarterback class, there's going to be players that people get excited for. Even in 2022, when it was like the Treylon Burks, Garrett Wilson, where Breece Hall was the only real guy up there, people still went nuts for the early firsts.
Yeah.
Like it will always be strong, but also there's better players than those in this class. Like, just at the top of Jeanty, Cameron Ward, is that the quarterback?
Yep.
And Ted McMillan and Burton. I can't remember the other wide receiver's name, but there's at least 4 players so far, not to mention.
Yeah, so you got Luther Burden, Emeka Ibuka. Speaking of guys who stayed home, he's in this one. Trey Harris is in this one. Isaiah Bond, and then like you've got running backs where you've got Genty, you've got Omarion Hampton, you've got Singleton,
Travion Henderson, who stayed.
Yeah, you've got the couple guys that are at Ohio State. Like you've got a whole bunch of really solid backs that and then like you're talking like tight ends, you got Fannin and Warren and Loveland.
Yes,
Loveland should
this is a good deep
yeah. And even the quarterbacks, like you mentioned Ward, there are going to be people excited about Shadir Sanders. There are going to be people excited about Quinn Ewers. I don't know how, if you've watched him.
Yeah,
but and Carson Beck may make a play. Milroe may make a play. Like there's a lot going on in this class. I'm not ever going to give you a full-on assessment of a class until I've really started to dig in. So it'll be probably, I don't know, January by the time I'm really ready to be like, oh, this. So watch for that tweet. Watch here. I'll start talking about what I think of the actual class, because I don't want to toot my own horn, but I've been pretty good about assessing like classes as wholes too.
Yeah,
but
you just got to watch out for them slot receivers. That's his weak spot.
Oh man, it's rough.
As a college football nut, this upcoming draft has no Caleb coming. That is, Zach was talking before how Travis May is his phone a friend for college and Debbie stuff. I am so glad John Bosch was like, hey, you know who we should get to do Dynasty Wall Street? Travis May. I get to just sit there and be like,
he's so good.
QBs are fine. It's very RB heavy, and the top end wide receivers are going to be great. Yeah. I think I'm trying to get as many top 3 picks as I can, where like if I have a 5 or 6, I'll end up spending to try and move up, just because I know Jeanty most likely board and wide receiver, and worst case, I'll get the choice between the top 2 wide receivers. And of course, there's so much time between now and May for things to change anyway. But I know this class is being touted as not good, but still early firsts are always valuable. I mean, yeah, late firsts can lose value, and maybe they will in this class, but still, they're still firsts and they won't be worth nothing.
Yeah. And again, in a running back class, that's like, I want to be in on a running back class.
Yeah,
I just do.
Yeah, and this isn't like pushing a running back into the end of the first just so we can get a running back in the first. Like this is going to be there's going to be 4 or 5 in the first because that's who's going to belong there. And then him saying, when you're ready for it, he can debate you.
I can't wait. That'll be fun, Frank. I look forward to that. Maybe J Mike and I'll have you on the Hoot Nanny for a little bit.
I'm going to join the Hoot Nanny, even though I have nothing to talk about. I just want to be there for that because I like you guys. Oh, Scott, have either of you had Scott's world famous made from scratch mozzarella sticks or breakfast sandwiches? Can I put the mozzarella sticks on a breakfast sandwich?
I have not, but can we place an order for Canton?
Are you on DoorDash?
Can we do that? Can we get a Canton? So 274-ish, 5-ish days. Can I put that in advance and we can get the mozzarella? I'd do both mozzarella sticks and a breakfast sandwich.
I'm telling you, I would put it on the breakfast sandwich. I know it's not.
No, I didn't bat an eye at that.
You
Russ.
did not.
I'm on board.
Look, it's early enough. I think we're giving you enough heads up. I'm guessing those are also running backs because
Trevion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins. Those are the Ohio State guys. So this is a really nice class in terms of like name recognition running backs. I haven't been through enough to be able to tell you that I'm excited. I am, but I haven't been there yet.
Well, I mean, Zach hasn't watched Shadier Sanders yet. But from what I've heard, not really. He sounds, now this is not a direct comparison, but he sounds like Anthony Richardson. Not as bad of a thrower, but like you want the hype to be real. You want that upside of the running to be real. I don't think he's as bad of a passer as Anthony Richardson was, but it's not a risk. It depends how early he ends up going. Like if someone in the NFL makes a ridiculous decision and takes him early and then he ends up being a top 3 draft pick, I'm not going to end up with any. Like I had my one just in case Anthony Richardson share, and I am so glad I got rid of it this season before he got benched. Like 2 weeks. Like I really just under the wire got lucky on that one. I don't think he's bad. Like he will get drafted in the NFL. I mean, that's a given, but I'm not letting, Anthony Richardson 2.0 happen so soon.
Yeah. And again, I have purposely do not watch college football, do not listen to people evaluate until I do my evaluation. So, but I did start early because I'm in 17 days. Not that anyone's counting, but I'm incommunicado for 2 weeks. I'm on vacation, so I will not be watching players while I'm on vacation.
But you'll still be here on Wednesday evening, right?
Maybe.
That's not a no.
You think I can go out on my balcony? You think how many people can I upset if I just go talk fantasy football out on the balcony at 9:30 at night?
I think everyone would love it. Oh, I was on Halloween. I was wearing my Sunday Dreamers Club shirt, the shirt we were both wearing. Ask me about my fantasy football podcast. And early before, like when the really young kids were out, I was sitting out on my driveway and with a bucket of candy in front of me. And one of the dads actually is like, what do you think about CJ Stroud rest of the season? I'm like, yay!
That's great. Well, that was we both wore that asked me about my fantasy football podcast, and that was I dressed up as a fantasy football podcaster. I haven't actually done that in a while, so
this counts sort of.
It doesn't podcast though, and I can't get it to broadcast over to the Dummies account, so I can't rip the audio and post it because this would be fun. People would like, but
Would people? Do people want? I could do that. I can.
I don't know if they want it or not, but if I were part of the audience, I would absolutely. I love listening to, well, specifically you, but like that's my like anytime you can, because you get the you build a relationship with people. It's so fun. Like that's part of what makes this fun is just sitting here talking with people in the chat or listening to a podcast. Like you build a relationship with
Yeah.
the people that you're listening to, which is and the people that you're talking to. It's kind of a fun phenomenon, a neat part of this.
Wow. My brain just went phenomenon. Phenomenon. Wow. Already. Should be lots of points scored in tomorrow's game. I'm so ready. I think it was 9 passing touchdowns the last time the Bengals and Ravens played each other.
Yeah, but it's a Thursday night game,
Which
so
means it's gonna be 6 to 9.
like 3-2.
Yeah. But I mean, I hope it's not. But I hope T. Higgins is playing. Is T. Higgins playing? T. Higgins he's doubtful.
So that's probably not.
That's a no. Like they've pretty
Yeah.
much made that known that D is no. In which case, hey, go get Gesicki, right? Gesicki will be starting for my SFB team.
Yep, there you go, Wilson. Gesicki.
Frank in the chat. Oh, I can't wait till Zach and I can debate Ewers because I think he's the best in the class.
I don't know. I watched enough Ewers the last 2 years with his receivers,
yeah,
to be very, 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 very leery of him. But I haven't watched like full on watched Ewers, so it'll be interesting. It'll be fun.
2022 was a quote not good class unquote, and we got London, Brees, Jameson, Walker, and Pickens. No one knows.
I mean, we got London this year finally.
Yeah,
Brees Hall.
Everybody knew revisionist.
Everybody knew was good.
Yeah, he's the one. Jameson,
Jameson hasn't really done anything yet.
Walker's
been fantastic. I cannot say bad things about Walker, although he hasn't been until this year what everyone thought he was, and now everyone is like, look, he's doing this. This is what he's always been, which he hasn't, but he's been good. And Pickens, who knows? Like sometimes he's great, sometimes he's not.
I think he is great only because
I can't
what
believe
he's doing with that quarterbacking.
Yeah, I can't believe you left out Garrett Wilson.
Well, we have Adam C up here who is talking, who is also agreeing.
Yeah.
And then we have Mr. Scampus here saying, I don't like making mozzarella sticks.
Well, but Scott offered, so you don't even have to
you don't
make
have
them.
to.
You just have to eat them.
I mean, is it more than just like taking a thing of mozzarella, breading it, and frying it? Like, is
there? You got to egg wash it.
Well, yeah, I meant, like egg wash, flour.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not. They're. I don't know. I don't think they're.
I was curious that because I've never done it, so I don't know.
I used to do short order cook like way back, and this is like 30 years ago. No, not quite 30. Like 25 years ago.
Ones, putting them in the fryer.
No, this is real block of mozzarella. Take the little. It's almost like a Garrett. Cut it. Egg wash, bread them, drop them down in like the really not like real mozzarella sticks. You should do that.
Oh. And again, I just want to point out, I don't think Shadur. Thank you. I don't think he's as bad as Richardson. I just think it's one of those situations where we're letting raw talent get the better of our hopes and dreams. And again, it's like everyone thought Josh Allen was just raw talent and bad, and he came in and he was raw talent and bad, and then he came good.
Yeah.
So who really knows? But right now, all I could say is what I said before. Like right now, if nothing really does seem to change, to be fair, he did just say, I don't like making mozzarella.
like actual mozzarella. Like I've never done that, like the
I've never
rennet
done
and
that
like
either.
actually do like raw milk and rennet, and I would like to. Maybe
Yeah.
not though. Mr. Scamper says it's not fun, so
I mean, I have no interest. I have all the interest in eating cheese. I don't have much interest in making
I
cheese.
I like cooking too. Like that's part of like all the food. So I like to make food too.
I like cooking. I don't like cooking meals because when you're cooking a meal, timing matters,
Yep.
and that stresses me out. Like I made spaghetti and meatballs yesterday, and I made the meatballs a little larger than I normally did
So you gotta
do.
cook them longer so that
So,
yeah.
but no, but like I purposefully waited longer, and I even cooked them on a lower heat because I like the outside of my meatballs to be a little crunchy because
Nope.
I make them in a pan. But Ellie, my daughter, doesn't. So I'm like, you know what? I'll drop the heat a little bit. I'll move them around a little bit more. But they still cooked pretty quickly, and I'm like, the pasta, the pasta, the pasta! Hurry, hurry! And of course, I took the meatballs out. Well, Ellie doesn't like sauce, and I do. So I took half the meatballs, dropped them in the sauce so they can, absorb
Yeah.
and cook a little. And I put the rest on the side for them to finish cooking on their own. And of course, it's not like they got cold by the time the pasta was, but it was just like the timing, the timing, the timing. Like, so I like making meatballs. I really do. Like, I like that part of cooking, but like having to cook things in
I,
tandem gets to me.
yeah, I find that if I'm making like a big meal, most of the time everyone else gets to eat it while it's hot, and
Yeah.
then I I end up eating afterwards. But
Wait, hold on. Nope, nope. There we go. So Russ, what do you think of CJ Stroud rest of season? So, like what I said to the guy was exactly this. It's just like CJ Stroud is very, very good. Nico Collins is coming back. He still has Tank Dell. Dalton Schultz is still good. The thing was, last year was better than it should have been. Last year was the anomaly, not this year. And while he is very, very good, he's playing very good. He's not amazing. He
well, yeah, it was unsustainable touchdown rate.
Yeah.
Like yeah, he was incredible, like incredibly efficient, a ton of touchdowns, which is awesome. But he was also to me the easiest sell out of the top 5 quarterbacks.
I tried so hard in TA11. I tried so hard to move Stroud, and just no one was even giving me top 5 QB prices for him.
No. Well, it's because everybody was podcasting and saying he was the obvious sell, and so then you go back to your leagues,
Stupid
which are pretty
playing with
plugged.
smart people.
Yeah, you say your leagues are pretty plugged in. So
I would tune into a Manningcast type stream from you guys during Monday or Thursday. I
that would
brought
be
up that
fun.
idea.
I didn't, I didn't think anybody would want to do that, but like if there's interest, like I'm around.
I mean, I'm usually not, which is the real problem of
Uh-oh.
all of it. But I brought that up, and it was funny. It was Bosch was just like, no one's
'Cause
gonna watch that.
yeah,
And I'm like,
because there's already a
probably
Manning
not. But
cast.
I was like, probably not, but it sounds like fun. It's not like we would try to actually color commentate the thing. Like, that's not the point. Like, we would kind of just watch and we obviously wouldn't be able to stream it on here. We would just be like a companion piece to
Yeah.
it because we would get arrested and all of that fun stuff. Or just heavily fined. But like, it would just be us hanging out while watching football, and we would talk about it while it was happening. Like,
Yeah.
it does sound cool. Like, I would love to, if one day this became my full-time job and I would be able to rationalize with my wife that it's my full-time job, I need to take Thursdays to do this.
Do you think Bob could pull Belichick for us?
Like,
Yeah, like be like the third
get him
man
on our.
in. Yeah.
I would not put anything past Bob at this point. If T. Higgins signed with any team, where would you want him to sign?
I love it. Do it.
I mean, I have two. My real football answer is the Commanders. I want him to catch the ball from Jaden Daniels. That's my thing. I love the connection he has with Terry McLaurin, but I think Terry and T. Higgins can live together in harmony.
Yeah.
So, and it's not like a Higgins and Chase thing. I think Higgins is better than McLaurin.
Yeah.
You know, and different styles of play and everything. So I don't think they would hurt each other being there. Plus, they just need pass catchers in general, no less talented pass catchers. So I would love that for a real football standpoint. I saw the Commanders have a black and yellow jersey, which is pretty nice. Which I would probably get first. Well, I mean, technically, once he changes teams, this is going to go somewhere else. Like this is going to get moved. But if I'm now, I think the real answer that everyone knows already is if I'm picking a place because of the jersey, I want him in the Chargers powder blue.
Yeah, and that's such a nice, that's such a great jersey.
That's for before I got back into football, that was my favorite jersey. Like seeing LaDainian Tomlinson be insane, like when he was early in his career, being like, I know that guy is good. I don't watch football, but I could tell that guy is good, and damn, does he look good while doing it.
Yeah, I love those. The powder blue. I like maybe it's just a blue, but I like the Lions jerseys too.
We figured that out. We were told that's called Honolulu blue.
Honolulu blue,
which
yeah,
is
because it's right next to Detroit, Honolulu.
Yeah, right there. When you think of one, you easily think of the other.
Absolutely. And then maybe I'm a homer, but I don't think so. I really like the Patriots throwback red with the Pat Patriot. I know we had this conversation at least once.
I like the helmet.
I like the red too.
I like the red better than the red, white, and blue.
Yes, they're new. They're new. Yeah.
Well, any version. I do. Hold on. I actually think I have an example. Ah, damn it. I for this past year's Boston live draft, I had a Willie McGinnis jersey that I sent that it was where there was silver involved back in the late 90s, probably, where it was red, white, blue, and silver, and there was like silver piping around the numbers. I liked those a little bit more than anything that they do now. But I really hope he doesn't go to the Patriots. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. Oh man, Drake May is like,
he's been good.
He's been like extending plays and pulling out miracles everywhere. Like,
except for the very last play where they rolled the safety and he threw it deep. But
oh yeah, well, he did the miracle play to get them into.
Yeah. Oh no, they extend the play for like 11 seconds. That was wild. No, he's been good. Like it's funny because he was a clear to me, and I think he still probably was like a clear step down from Jaden Daniels and Williams, but they're really good.
Yeah,
and he is also very good. He's like, and this was kind of my assessment of him. It was like when Daniel Jones was drafted and Giants fans were like, we got this one right. Like Drake May is what would have happened if they actually had got it right. Like he's like good Daniel Jones. Which is a nice, that's a nice thing to be.
Because we've seen Daniel Jones be decent, and that was pretty good. So, and if you could have a consistently good Daniel Jones.
I just worry for him, like they've got to put an offense around him. Like they've got to have. I mean, it's like when I wrote into Trade Addicts and said, aside from the fact that they need 5 offensive linemen, a tight end, and 2 wide receivers and a running back, the Patriots offense is really good.
Yes.
So
Billy J. Thornton, Mooney or T. Higgins rest of season? I mean, I hate this answer, but the answer is Darnell Mooney, who is apparently just he was always good. It's just that the Bears got terrible after he had that great rookie year. He got hurt, he came back, and then the team was terrible and he was terrible with them.
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney, we've seen him be very good, and he is a solid number 2 wide receiver on that team. Maybe wide receiver 1 for this week. But
if London's
the
out.
only reason I say Mooney is just because I really am crossing my fingers that T. Higgins is just taking it easy this year because he's playing on the tag. You know, I don't want these injuries to be real, but when he's on the field, he plays. When he's on the field, he produces. You know, he does well every single week. But I think if I'm hoping what I'm hoping, which means this won't be the last game T. Higgins will probably miss this season, in which case you probably just got to roll with Mooney. I don't think I'd make any trades based on that assessment. But like, if I have
unless it's
on my team,
unless it's just a season long league. Like if he's just saying rest of season, if it's season long, like I don't mind going and getting Mooney because I think that he's definitely got a spot in that offense. It was really funny. Darnell Mooney is like the inverse of Deontay Johnson, where like Deontay Johnson in college was really a field stretcher, was a player who you know, a lot of air yards, got down the field, made
he really?
plays. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
And then when he was drafted, they kind of, you know, moved him inside it, and Mooney was the other way around, where like Mooney was so dynamic, where they'd get him the ball in space and they'd get him the ball in, you know, 5 to 7 yards and let him run. And then all of a sudden, when he got to the NFL, it's like, all right, you're going to go down the field and make plays. And it's just a weird kind of swap. The NFL is funny sometimes. No, I'm not a chef, but I do like to eat, so that I have to. It's a survival tactic.
Football and cheese. That's life right there.
Yeah.
I can see it, and I understand why a lot of people can lose themselves in cooking. It's not my deal most of the time. Cares Cast. That's
brilliant, Frank. That's what this should be called anyway. Bob, get on that.
Bob, get us a video, give us a logo. Let's go. The Cares Cast.
That's better than Fantasy Cares about your fantasy team. From the Department of Redundancy Department.
Makes me happy. Thursdays would be better. We'll take that into account. Yeah, I watch a Thursday Night Football stream every week. It's better than the commentary. I don't remember the last time I really listened. Well, I mean, at this point, I watch most of games on the replays because, well, it's a lot. Like, the past few Sundays, I didn't get to watch any football this past week. Like, I didn't even get to watch it on the replays because of the people at my job are so bad at their job that we had to take every invoice that was created in 2023, which was about 1,000, and they're in 3 places: the invoice itself, the Excel spreadsheet tracker that they use, and QuickBooks. So we literally had to have 3 people invoice 123, $674.19. Match. Invoice 124, $975.84. Match. Doesn't match. Why? What does yours say? I almost lost my mind. It was the worst thing ever. It took a day and a half, and it was like, so Tuesday I couldn't even look at anything, and this morning either. So like I couldn't even really watch the games as I was doing the kickoff things. I was just like skip. Score change, go back.
Oh man.
But like, yeah, so like I can't remember the last time I actually sat and listened to the commentary because it's usually just so bad. Like there's a couple of like, we knew from the very first time he sat in a booth that Greg Olson is good at this.
Yeah.
And he's really the only person I think I don't hate at this moment. Even Tony Romo's gotten a little annoying. Even when he has his moments still of being very good at what he does. But like I think he tries a little too hard to be entertaining, and it just usually doesn't land.
I don't watch very many full games.
No. Red Zone.
Like it's Red Zone, and it's literally like Scott Hansen and then me watching a college player while I'm paying attention to who's scoring. So it's quite a bit different. It's so funny. The longer I do the analysis part of fantasy football, the more specialized my analysis has become. So I'm less plugged into the day to day, and I'll do like a lot of off season stuff where I'm trying to figure out like what players I want to acquire and what rookies I want to acquire and how like. But in season, it's I don't know. Hopefully I've done my diligence in the off season. I have enough guys to plug in. That's pretty much where I'm at
Yeah.
now.
I mean, we in our 12 Olympians chat where people are talking about how no one's it's a tough race for the 101, and I just come in and say all I do is win, 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 no matter what, because I've won that leagues the past 2 out of the past 3 years,
I
and I'm in first place now.
I'm tanking. Can you tell?
Yeah, I have to get Derrick Henry off your team. I think still.
I'm in third.
Are you? Never mind. I guess I'm not getting Derrick Henry off your
I'm
team.
like 7-2 and in third place, and I have 3 first-round picks.
Oh dang!
Yeah.
So I might not win next year.
They're not. They're all going to be late because Joe's team suddenly became good because he's spite competing because I wouldn't trade him as first, and
That's always the best. That's
and
always
then yeah, I'm happy for him. I'm like whatever. I'm glad, but
Joe.
he and I were having the conversation. He was like, "What's it going to take to get my first?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It feels like that's going to be a top 3 pick." And he's like, "Hold my beer."
I did the same thing to J Mike, the same, and like we were doing it to wonderful people too. Or, I did J Mike, you're doing it to Joe. We're just like, oh, my pick's going to be early. Is it? My pick's going to be early. Is it? You say, and I missed the playoffs by like 30 points. Like I missed it.
I love that rule, by the way, in your leagues where the last team is the highest scorer, not already in. Like that.
Yeah,
that makes me happy.
Yeah, 12-team leagues where 6 teams make it in. The top 5 by record, and then the last team is the team with the most points scored already not in.
Yeah.
A lot of the times it is just the 6th seed anyway, but there's been lowest. It's been the 11th seed once.
Yeah, but it takes out some of that variance and rewards somebody for putting together a good team, even though they had bad luck.
In Dash, it's the top 4 by record, the best all play win percentage, and then the most points.
Nice.
Which I think if I could make a sweeping change, I would do something like that in all the TA leagues, but I'm too lazy because that would take a lot of votes, and I don't want. That's not something I want to be as a commish dictator change on that.
Spend your and
it would need to be it would need to be all or none, and I think that's just too much work because I don't think it would pass well enough, and I'm lazy.
I don't blame you on that, but I do like when commissioners kind of do things like that too. I mean, it doesn't really shake up the playoffs, but it definitely gives you a way to play. Yeah, it gives you a way to play for the playoffs, even if you've had a run of bad luck. So,
victory points would be another way to do that. By the way, bringing it back to SFB just to put it out there, because that's why he does the points against the median, just so if you do put up those points and still lose, you still get a little bit of a victory out of it.
I've lost to the median once this year.
I finally won my matchup, but lost to the median this week.
Ouch.
I have 10 wins.
I'm not competitive in terms of playoff competitive. Like I'm going to I say I'm going to. I should win my division. I've already made the playoffs, but I'm like mid 400s. Like I'm like 450 or something right now, and falling. Oof. Like I'm losing about 100 places a week.
Wow, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 teams in my division have clinched already. One team has. Oh wait, it's 12, right?
13.
1, 2, 13.
Yeah.
Okay, then there's one team with 12. So there's one team that can clinch. So yeah, a lot of my league has clinched, and I have as many points as a few of them. Yeah, I was doing a lot better earlier in the season than I am right now. Like, man, the first week of the season, I had scored the most points in my division. I'm just like, yeah, this is going to be a season. And then after week 2, it never got as good again.
Well, I see mine was, and I'm not going to lament injuries because everybody has injuries, but the fact that Shaheed went down
That's rough.
was a killer, and also honestly, not having Isaiah Pacheco has been rough.
Yeah, that's easy first down points.
And yeah, I mean, he was what, the first 2 weeks he averaged 21 and a half or 20 and a half points, like, and then he got hurt and that was it. And then the Russell Wilson coming back into like
Yes.
actually being able to be a quarterback, and so my Justin Fields points morphed into Daniel Jones points, which are the
I am currently 26th, which technically I believe I would still make the playoffs.
I'd have to look at the email, but I believe you.
I'm too lazy to pull up an email.
Oh, no, I don't even have to pull it up because it is starred. Everything that comes from Scott goes into a VIP.
Oh, I have a very special junk mail folder for the stuff that comes from Scott.
Do not read this ever.
Delete, delete, delete. Don't just delete. Set your computer on fire. 2 weeks left to maximize the most of your SFB 14 rosters to make the playoffs.
This says 2,000.
Make the teams?
Yeah, make the playoffs because it's half, right?
Is it? I don't remember anymore. It must be. Scott's apparently still here, so he could answer the question, I guess.
Oh, hey, Scott, why don't you...
Oh, man, did you see the Texans Battle Red uniforms?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Hold on, let's see. Texans Battle Red.
Are they as good as the Pat Patriot Patriots?
Here, this deep red with the nice blue horn on the shoulder with the deep.
They give me Rutgers vibes.
Well, that's just because they're red.
Yeah, I don't know.
I love the chrome helmet though. That I do like.
All of like and I know these aren't Color Rush, but like all of the Color Rush things, and I don't know, sometimes they just feel like they try too hard. They're like, those aren't bad, but
yeah, I mean, usually when the Color Rush ends up being just white jerseys, like, the Packers all whites were just ugh.
I like the real throwback, like the Packers,
the blue with the yellow circle.
I love that. This may be I even like the Pittsburgh Bumblebee.
I love the Bumblebee jerseys. Okay. They have so grown on me.
I thought I was going to be on an island on that one, but
it's
I'm
those
glad.
things where you start saying a word ironically, but then it just becomes part of your lexicon anyway. Like, it's so funny. Like, I had a friend who would call people bro, joke like, "Hey, bro, what's going on, bro?" And then sooner or later, it just turns into "What's up, bro?" And I'm like, "What?" And you're just like, "I was saying it too much. I just say it now." And I'm just like, I get that. Like, I pretty much get that. But yeah, like, I used to joke around about the Bumblebee jersey so much that they just literally grew on me, where it's just like, I don't dislike them that much. Would I buy one? Okay. Probably. Like, if T. Higgins went to the Steelers, if I'm buying a Steelers jersey, it's probably going to be the Bumblebee jersey. Let's be honest. So yeah, I like it.
I mean, that's within the realm because they're going to need a replacement for Mike Williams at some point.
Absolutely, in the next 30 minutes. I'm excited for the future as a Patriots fan. Our offense needs a complete overhaul, but at least we finally have hope at quarterback. Yeah. 5 offensive linemen, 2 wide receivers, a tight end. Though I do like me some Hunter Henry and a running back, and you got an offense.
Yeah, It frustrates me that they got the right quarterback too early.
Yes. But at least it's not like what's a good example? Like, well, it's so old, but at least it's not like David Carr too early.
Yeah. Where
Like
they had like no offensive linemen in the entire state of Texas.
he's
let
not going to
alone
die
Yeah.
before the team gets a chance to be okay. Missing Evans and Nico. I mean, Nico's back this week or next week, most likely. Any word on Evans? Like, he was never put on IR, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
He
have not
wasn't.
seen that.
Mike Evans still listed as out, working out off to the side on Wednesday. So, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be playing anytime soon. Well, week 11 is a bye week anyway. He's already listed out for week 10. So maybe after the bye.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I should say after the bye.
It's always
Sorry. Scampers sitting cool at 22.86.
Almost there though.
Getting close. So far down the list. Look, we appreciate you being so far down that list because you're holding us up. You are the hero holding up Zach at 423. Like he can only be 423 because you are down there.
Oh, 423. Yeah.
So thank you, Charlene. Thank you.
It's such a big turn. It's such a big tournament, and there's so much like your division matters a ton. The luck of injury or non-injury matters a ton. Like plus Scott with the scoring, like it's so hard to nail down.
I don't know if you or I froze, but nope. Yep, there you are. You're back now. Am I frozen?
I'm here. No, I'm here. We just had a weird blip. I don't know that we were frozen.
The thing is, like, I think they've hit snakes on a plane. They've hit so bad it's good.
Oh.
Like, I think that's really what it is. Like, it just really was like, so you sit there making fun of it so much that you think about it too much. And it's really funny. Like, I read about this once, that it's a legitimate psychological phenomenon that when you sit there and watch someone do something over and over again, that you're just like, I hate that they do that. I hate that they do that. You end up picking up the habit a little bit. And it's one of those things where it's like, I hate that uniform. I hate that uniform. That uniform. That uniform. That uniform. Okay.
I mean, it's the entire premise of 10 Things I Hate About You, isn't it? Like you hate everything, and then all of a sudden you're
I hate the way I don't hate you at all.
That's the one.
I love that movie so much. Okay, Tampa Bay's creamsicles are just good.
Yes, valid.
Like, none of that stuff about the Bumblebee. The creamsicle jerseys are just good.
So that actually was like Harrison, my youngest, was watching football with me last Sunday. Or no, it wasn't even Sunday. Did they play Monday?
Monday night.
So, and he was like, no, it wasn't this Monday, because this Monday I don't think they were in creamsicle. I think it was last week. Yeah. And so we were sitting there watching. He's like, who is that team? And I was like, my friend, these are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from when your father was a kid. And it's beautiful.
Yes.
And he was like, I really like those jerseys. Like, yeah, now we have to go watch the powder blue because the Chargers are even better.
Yes. No IR for Evans. He'll be back after the bye. Yeah. I mean, if you're practicing off to the side and you're already out for the week and then there's a bye, there's a good chance he'll be back at the bye. Dustin, I've never even bothered to look where I was on the list. It's been that bad of a season. I mean, now I'm curious. Do I still have it open? Leaderboard.
Yeah, but
2874 isn't that bad. Like,
No.
I mean, you're 6-12, but points you'll be able to boost decently if you just have a couple of good weeks. I mean, you only have 2, but
Go scour the waiver wire for kickers.
Bumblebee uniforms are like eggnog, divisive with a touch of fun double letters to say.
Means
Do you like eggnog?
I got to go like half a glass of milk and then the Bumblebee uniforms. We're good. Eggnog's too thick for me, but I like the flavor.
So just get eggnog flavored things.
So like, well, no. So like, I'll do. I mean, it's kind of like how I do coffee, where like I'll do like milk and eggnog and mix it so it thins it,
Oh, okay.
and then I'm perfectly happy drinking it. But like, if it's a textural thing, like it's just too
It is.
thick.
I almost said it's chunky. It's not. Thankfully, it's not chunky because that would be gross. But like, yeah, it is a very.
It's almost like when you're a kid and you get the bowl of ice cream and you get it like half done and you're like, it would be really good if I just
Ice cream
whip it
soup
around you, yeah. And then you drink and then you're like, this was not as good an idea as I thought it was, but I'm gonna lean into it. That's, to me, that's the texture of eggnog.
Russ needs a padded room for that take. I'm guessing this is the Bumblebee jerseys. Look, Russ needs a padded room for many, many, many reasons. I feel like the Bumblebee jersey is one of the lesser reasons, but I'll take it. Like, I could use the rest. I have a special thing for 10 things.
An SFB 15 straight jacket.
Brought to you by Fantasy Cares.
Would you just do you fantasy on one arm and cares on
the other?
Yeah.
I do not get the Kelly Green love. Okay, I'll go with him.
Abstain from as a Patriots fan.
They're fine.
Yeah,
I like the older looking eagle better than the new fancy one. I think that's what draws me to it more than the specific green. Though I don't know if that eagle would look good on that dark, foresty green, whatever they use now. I don't know what it's called, what specific it is, but like, I like the whole jersey put together. I like the Kelly Green jerseys. I don't think the color itself is anything special.
I like Randall Cunningham.
Oh well, yeah. Look at that. We brought a little brightness to Dustin. It's better than he thought he was doing.
That's what we're here for.
Yes,
Eric Redd.
I don't know who that is. Why are we bringing up Eric
The
Redd?
Buccaneers.
Oh, Creamsicles?
Yeah.
Whomever finishes last in SFP 14 of the Fantasy Cares team should have to spend 24 hours eating in a Waffle House. The problem,
can I drop everybody on my team?
Also, there's none of them around here, around any of us. Well, maybe John might have some being.
There's one in Canton, right?
Yes, there is one in Canton.
I'll spend 24 hours in the Waffle House.
I mean, they're used to people sleeping there anyway, I'm sure. Eggnog plus whiskey is great. Right, Zach? You love yourself some eggnog and whiskey?
Balvenie.
Yeah. 2 years in a row, I have a bottle that I won at a charity event that I keep meaning to bring to the expo, and I never remember to do it. Eggnog plus brandy is the way to go. Yeah, brandy that little bit stronger. I could see that, instead of whiskey. Yeah. So maybe there is a level of whiskey to make the Bumblebee jerseys good. Look, there's a level of whiskey to make many things good. But it just depends how dangerous it ends up getting, for your liver and rest of your body parts. Fireball would absolutely, because it's just cinnamon, so which feeds into the flavor of the eggnog. What? So it's not a Waffle House.
It actually closes? It's like the Stephen Wright joke where he pulls up to the 7-Eleven and his friend is coming out and he says, "I thought you were open 24 hours." He says, "Yeah, but not in a row."
Not in a row. Yeah, I'm very, very happy with where I'm ranked right now. I was off to a better start than where I am right now, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. Yeah, that's crazy. Like that would never occur to me that a Waffle House would close. But no, we were there at the first expo, which was 19ish, 2019ish. We were there at ridiculous or hour in the morning. I don't know when you guys went to go, but like at like 1 or 2 o'clock, they were open still.
I know where there's a drive-in that's open till midnight.
Randall Cunningham is good for Kelly Green, but don't think he hurdled over anyone backwards.
No, that's true. That's true. Saquon defying physics was pretty impressive.
I brought it up on the wrap-up show yesterday. If you just look at a picture of him hurdling that guy and didn't know what happened, I don't know if you could figure out what was happening in the picture. Like, because that's not the direction things are supposed to be going.
That was wild. But I know Giants fans don't want to hear this, but he's been really good since he came out. Like really good. Like 2018
Are
on
Giants fans bitter? Did they think he was bad?
They thought he was washed. So many people that I know who are Giants fans were like happy about getting rid of Saquon because they thought he was washed. He wasn't the same guy that he was when he came out, and he was injured. And I'm like,
that team was so bad.
Yeah. That's what I said. It turns out that it was the Giants who were washed, not Saquon.
Yes, I remember you saying that. Maybe it was closed because of an incident. Oh yeah, 3 or 4. Yeah, even nowadays I'm not awake at 1 or 2, no less 3 or 4. So,
I mean, after the time change, it's like 5 o'clock, and I'm like, whoa, power down.
If I didn't have kids, I would be such an old man. I would be. I mean, we're already still in bed by like 8:30, 9 o'clock. I don't fall asleep till around midnight. But like, if I didn't have kids, I would. Oh, it would be glorious. I would eat dinner at 5:30. I would be in bed by 8 o'clock. And again, I would stay awake and watch TV and everything for a while. But like, I would do nothing, and it would be great.
Let's see. For us, it's you put the kids to bed, and like that's the only time that we get to be like adults and
my
talk
kids
to each other. And I mean, I'm very lucky because Caleb will at 7:30. He's like, "What time is it?" I'm like, "You know what time it is?" And he's like, "Can I go to bed?" I'm like, "Yes." And then Harrison will follow, and they'll go read for a little bit, and then that'll be it. But
oh man, my kids are gonna still be awake. I mean, well, they don't have school tomorrow, but even if we did, like when I'm down here, they're still awake when I go upstairs, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Cunningham, hell of a punter. I don't get it. Also, Vikings 98 season.
Deep balls.
The draft season Hard Knocks was so revealing in regards to Saquon's situation.
We can't pay Daniel Jones $40 million and still have Saquon. Like that was that was wild.
I mean,
but it also makes me want to push back hard, Mr. Scampers, when people say, "Oh, you fantasy football idiots don't know anything compared to NFL GMs. You couldn't do this." And then you watch somebody say something like that, or you watch them navigate the draft. So there was the Hard Knocks with the Giants. The Bears also had a special where they let in cameras into their draft room, and like,
yes,
you start seeing the way some of these teams navigate the draft. And not that I'm fully will cop to being a dummy. Like, I don't know more than anybody else, but there are times where you can see bad things coming.
Yeah.
and you don't do that.
How that was team approved for release is a testament to Joe Schoen's arrogance.
Yeah, Shane's just like, yeah, I'm gonna do whatever it is that I do, and we're gonna be good. We're gonna be fine. But
Yes, they did in fact pay the wrong dude.
they should have just run Wildcat and let Saquon be quarterback.
Seriously, like you can bridge. Cunningham punted at times, had a 91-yard point,
Oh,
91-yard punt and a 95-yard touchdown pass in the same game.
that's why he was so much fun to watch. Just like
it was like Vic before Vic, right?
yeah.
I mean, I'm
Well,
legitimately
like a better like to me, he was a better thrower too. Like Cunningham was wild.
That was way before my time, Cunningham. So I don't even really know.
I had the starting lineup figure of Randall Cunningham.
Yes, I love those toys so much. Those were so much fun.
I had the Cunningham and the Reggie White with the hands up, and the Singletary also.
I had the Lawrence Taylor for sure. I had a lot of hockey ones of those, and I loved the hockey ones because they were all pretty well made toys, but the hockey sticks were like ridiculously bad looking. It made it look like the hockey sticks on the ones where you twist the knobs and it makes them swing around.
Yeah, table hockey.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question for you that has absolutely nothing to do with anything that we're talking about, but it's something that's been on my mind for a very, very long time. And I put out a poll on Twitter about this once, like a year or two ago. But after you shower, do you dry off, assuming you towel dry, which I don't know the answer to this question, do you dry off in the shower or do you step out, get your towel, and then shower?
We have the towel rack right like on the wall next to the shower. So I will open the curtain, grab the shower while I'm still in, and start toweling off, because if I don't and I step out onto the mat, that mat gets absolutely soaked and it drives me nuts.
My wife and daughter both are step out, put on a robe kind of people. And I'm just like, this mat is forming its own ecosystem. It is a swamp. This is practically Dagobah right now. Like Yoda might be hiding in there somewhere, pulling an X-wing out of a swamp. Like this is what's going on in our shower mat right now. And like we have a glass door to our shower and it doesn't reach the ceiling. So I just literally like swing the towel over. So I shower, grab the towel, dry off. Like I'm 80% dry by the time I step out of that shower. Like I don't understand like the getting out and then doing something, because you're and like imagine if you don't have a mat, that's slippery, that's dangerous. Like my kids, oh man, Nolan showers and has the thing closed, but somehow there's water across the room.
That's my new battle, is because the boys are both in like high elementary school, so they're like, and they're starting to sweat now.
Yes.
And they're starting, and so like we're doing showers like daily, and they're like, if you need a towel, it's right here. Grab it before you get out. Like now we're fighting that battle. So I'm glad you asked, but
yeah. Hold on. I want to. We have an actual Dynasty question, but yeah, in the shower. Otherwise, you have to. Yeah, exactly. Like,
that's fair. As long as you get which half, just the left.
Just like if you have long hair, I could understand like doing the hair first, like especially like if you're like a turban kind of person. I said if. I'm sure you got a couple in, like one or two in there somewhere. But also Charlene brings up the great point here, which is why I throw the towel over the top, because the second you open that door, you are losing your hot air. And like you need to keep that closed. So that's why I just.
It's always so warm here in Maine that's not ever an issue.
Never an issue. What's the pulse in Dynasty on Olave? 5 concussions since entering the NFL. Derek Carr throwing him hospital balls. I mean, Derek Carr, it's not like he's just doing it to Olave. He does it to everyone.
Yeah.
But
Derek
it's
Carr's the next Jimmy Garoppolo.
just a better paid one. But like, are you worried about Olave? Are you how are you feeling about him?
He's always been a sell to me. Like the community at large has been higher on Olave than I have.
I think you were higher on him until rookie drafts came around, and then you're like, oh, this is how high people are on him now.
Well, like he was, I feel like I had him at like 5 or 6 in the class because I had Burks. Like I'll like own up to that at 1, and then I had Wilson, and then I had Pickens, and then London, and then maybe Olave.
Yeah.
But so yeah, like when because there were a lot of very smart people who had Olave highly ranked. I mean, including Peter, who had Olave fairly highly ranked. But like, if you're just talking about the concussions, absolutely, like that's a worry, and like as a human being, that's a worry.
Like, here's the thing. Looking at what Tua is doing, I'm not worried about the concussions as an NFL player. I think he'll keep coming back to play because these athletes are competitors.
Yeah.
And the thing that worries me about Olave has been what's been worrying me about Olave from the beginning. It's the situation he's in. 22, 23, 24, 25 with an option.
Yeah.
So like maybe next year's his last year in New Orleans, or we'll see what changes they make because they did fire their coach.
Do they have any money though? Like they're the one team where the salary cap is actually real.
Well, they lost Lattimore. That's got to be a lot of money off their books.
Yeah.
Same as Scampers, but we also wash our mat routinely. We need to start washing it more often.
We do that too, but like it's still like if the two boys don't dry off, all of a sudden like that whole mat is just soaked. Like it's not a matter of washing it. It's a matter of like it's wet.
Since we're asking shower questions, how often do you change towels? Every like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Every couple of days. Yeah. I don't want to do that much laundry. Like usually from one day to the next, from one day to the next, the towel will usually completely dry up. If it doesn't, it's like, oh, okay, I'll use this one more time and then I'll switch it up. Like it's holding on to too much liquid.
But like mine just disappears. Anyway, like I don't even get to go the 3 days because my wife is like, boom, boom, boom. Like that's just kind of one of her things. So
yeah,
I'll be like, oh, I got to find another one.
Oh no, well, I'm the laundry person, and it's not laundry doesn't get done unless it's in a hamper.
I try to be the laundry guy because she doesn't like doing it.
I hate to.
But she likes doing laundry more than she likes the way I fold laundry. Even though she hates doing laundry. And so like I try, but I'm not I apparently I'm not up to snuff with my folding techniques. So
10-team tight end premium have to start 2 tight ends weekly. Just leave the league. Shakir for Otten. Absolutely, Otten. You have to start 2 tight ends, even if it's 10 teams. It doesn't matter. Otten, absolutely.
Yeah.
Carr is a professional athlete, probably a good 40 to 45 resting pulse, I bet. Oh, I said, you do your hair, you put it in a turban. Scampers is a beard turban kind of guy.
I can see that.
How does it stay? Like, you have to like wrap it once over your head and then they'd only save about $1 million for the next year by moving on from Carr, but it'll be better for the team.
Yeah. Well, they've got Taysom Hill there, so.
Wait, is this real? Carr cost the same coach his job with 2 different teams 10 years apart? Did Dennis Allen coach somewhere that got him fired, or is this someone different?
Was he a Raiders?
Spencer Rattler does not look great. He's one of those Devy players that fell for right reasons.
Yeah. But he did have a really good day at Senior Bowl practice.
That usually is, sadly enough, all it takes for you to get drafted and to get in favor with your team.
Not only get drafted, but also get like the fantasy space really hyped, because like Cooper Kupp did it and Puka Nakua did it. And so because of those two, then that means everybody who does.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oakland Raiders.
Really? That's impressive. So, like, do you think Dennis Allen was the coach? He's like, crap, I didn't realize what I just did. So it was a self-fulfilling prophecy that
That's pretty wild that, like, you put yourself in the same situation again. Like, it wasn't enough the first time. We got to come back for more.
Yeah, but someone asks you to be the head coach of a team, you just sort of take.
That's one of those interview questions. Be like, do you have any questions before we sign the paperwork? Be like, yeah, Derek Carr. But
my favorite Carr stat is he's the first QB to lose to 31 teams. So does that mean he hasn't played the Raiders? Or he didn't play the Saints when he was on the Raiders? Because he would need to lose to 32 to lose to all teams, right?
Yeah. Kendrick Miller sent Carr a gift basket. That I don't understand the hate from Allen to Kendrick Miller.
Yeah, maybe we're gonna get a free Kendrick Miller.
And I don't necessarily think Kendrick Miller is fantastic, but he is not like DNP coach's decision bad. Like, he's not healthy scratch bad.
Well, we've seen Saints coaches just do whatever they feel like when it comes to running backs. Like, don't get me wrong, Sean Payton extended Mark Ingram's career so he could end up in the Ravens and doing really well for a year or two and that kind of stuff. But like, there's no reason Mark Ingram should not have been way more involved in that offense for years, except for the fact that it seemed like Sean Payton didn't like him.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Carr hasn't played the Raiders yet. Oh, but it happens this season.
There it is.
Like, if you're Derek Carr, you throw the game, right?
Like, you pull a hamstring. You just feel like, I can't go today. Sorry.
No, like you have to be the first guy to lose to all 32 teams. Like, even if it's it's an NFL record, even if it's for a bad reason.
I guess. I don't know.
All right, but it's about that time. We have caught up to the bottom of the chat, and it is just about 11, in which case it is just about a half hour past my bedtime. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us on this beautiful Wednesday. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Not yet. Just because.
Stickers. It's sticker of the month.
Well, no, not even that. I did the dang work. I'm going to put these stats up on the screen.
Oh, kicker stats, return stats.
Hold on. Let's pull that down. Let's zoom in a little bit. There you go. Anybody that wants to give a little screenshot of, man, there were there were two teams. I think Carolina and maybe Washington. I can't remember who it was this week who kicked returnable balls on like 75% of their kicks, and none of them reached the 30. It's just like,
yeah. I'm telling you, I think the NFL is going to figure this out, but it may be too late for Scott Fishbowl this year.
And I'm guessing it was Washington, because Washington is up there at 78%, so it probably was them. I think it was like 5 kicks where 4 of them were returnable. Like it, I don't think we've seen enough good returns. Now, if you want to qualify a good return as anything that goes past the 30, okay, we've seen a few because we've seen a lot that reach the 32 to 34. Like if you even just push that a good return is something that passes the 35, I feel like there's so few of them.
Yeah.
In which case, why not? Like, why not take the chance that, first of all, teams will still get penalties. Teams will
fumble,
or just not have a good return. Have faith in your defensive special teams that they'll just stop them. Like, you know what really, it's funny, of all of this serious stuff about the kickoffs, what really gets to me the most is they still make the covering team, the kicking team, run to the end zone. Like, they can't start running until the ball gets caught. But when the ball is kicked through the end zone, they have to wait for it to go out the end zone and then they run. It's like, can't they just walk off? Just let them walk off. They shouldn't have to run still.
Like, I mean, you get out there, you want to do something.
Well, time to go for my jog.
It's kind of like you warm up in the bullpen. You want to go in and throw
but so good. Convince your team to kick a returnable ball so you can tackle some people. So you can tackle them inside the 30 and do good for your team. That's what you got to do. But now I'm going to bed. Thank you, everyone, for coming and hanging out with us on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Just real quick, since he brought them up. fantasycares.org/stickers. Here are the stickers for this month.
I love that one. That one's so good.
Like, there's no good place to grab this because there's something cool everywhere on this. How the fish drafted from Whoville and the Grinch holding the SFB shaped ornament, and see, and then SFB 12 with Christmas lights wrapped around it, and then there's SFB 14 merch with Mario with the little fishy in the sea. And then this was one of my favorites from the very beginning. I love the Monsters Inc. SFB 14. I love the 14 as the M.
I packed for my vacation the Monsters Inc. SFB 14 will definitely be a Hollywood studio Disney day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, by the way, fantasycares.org/stickers if you want to sign up for the Sticker of the Month Club. But we don't really have anything else much going on for me to be, there's going to be some stuff coming out. It is November, so there's Thanksgiving, there's playoffs coming up soon. So there's plenty of stuff that we will have coming down the pipeline. But right now, just have a great night, everybody. Just enjoy.
Appreciate you.
And hopefully we do get another 9 touchdowns tomorrow.
Are you clicking something?
I was going to, but I was like, how still can I stay? But then I started making myself laugh. All right, good night, everybody.
Awkward pause.